All right. Good morning once more, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, good morning. I can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. Uh, yeah, let's just wait till 5 minutes after 9 for more people to join. Then we can start. All right, Michael, I think we can start now. You can share your screen and turn on your camera.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. The I hope you all see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me audibly too. And I hope you can see my screen also. Um, my name is Michael Adegoke, and today I'll be presenting on DevOps or DevOps mindset to be more specific. Thank you all for being here today for this knowledge development session. We're going to dive into this topic because it's often misunderstood and it's really critical for any organization to look into and thrive in the modern like digital landscape, and it's the DevOps mindset. Why DevOps is more than just the tools that the engineers use. As my title suggests, we'll be making a case that DevOps is so much more than just a set of fancy new tools that we use. So our agenda is just going to cover what DevOps is and why DevOps itself matters. We're going to outline the journey today. We'll start by quickly defining what DevOps is before moving to the core of our discussion, which is why the mindset matters, the culture of DevOps. We'll also talk about the threads of DevOps culture and try to just bust or talk about some common misconceptions and look at a couple of real world cases where where this DevOps mindsets can apply. So first of all, what is DevOps? If you ask, as from what I've noticed, if you ask about 10 people what DevOps is, you're probably going to get 11 different answers. Is it a job title? Is it a set of practices? Is it a tool chain? What exactly is this all about? At its simplest, I'll say DevOps is like a cultural and also a professional movement that stresses communication, the collaboration, and integration and automation between the software developers and also the IT operation professional. It's the goal of this is to break down the traditional silos or maybe wall of um, miscommunication, or even maybe if you're even communicating, just to break down that wall where things are lost in translation between the software developers and the IT operations. The culture of DevOps aims to bridge that gap and to promote a blameless culture in the industry. So it's like I said, it breaks down that wall, that silos between these two groups to build, to test, and release software faster and also more reliably. Please confirm if you can all hear me.
Yes, we can hear
I can
you.
hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, I
thank
can
you.
hear you.
So just to continue, um, there's the famous DevOps infinity loop. This is this image or this visualization encapsulates what DevOps is perfectly. It's a continuous flow of plan, code to build, to test, to release, to deploy, to operate, and to monitor with feedback looping back into planning. This is just a continuous process because you are working with live software, you're working with end users that are always going to interact with the softwares that you have deployed. And this infinity loop is the mechanism of DevOps. It's also the fuel that makes this loop spin infinitely. This loop isn't a tool, but you're going to interact with tools to help maintain this particular loop. So I'm not here to talk about tools because when it comes to carrying out some technical tasks, people like to focus on what tools they're using. The tools we're going to use today are not going to be the tools we're going to use tomorrow. What is really important here is the mindset and the culture. Why does the DevOps mindset matter? You can buy or you can use all the Jenkins, the Docker, the Kubernetes, the Ansible. You can buy all those licenses in the world. You can install them and still not be doing DevOps. Why? Because tools are enablers, not solutions. They are the instrument and not the orchestra, if you understand the analogy I'm trying to use here. The mindset is more like the conductor. It is the shared understanding and the philosophy that guides how we use these tools. I'm not saying these tools are not important, but they really are. But the people using these tools are the ones that will maximize the tools to their greatest abilities. Like I said, the mindset is the conductor. So there are pillars that you have to focus on when you are carrying out your day-to-day tasks as a DevOps engineer. That's the culture of shared ownership, the focus on continuous improvements. I've kind of mentioned that, and automating everything that makes every single thing that makes sense. This here is the thread of DevOps culture. That it consists of collaboration, automation, continuous improvement, transparency, and customer-centric activities. This thread is is what is what exactly this DevOps mindset is made of. It's not really a single idea, but a tapestry woven rather from 5 critical threads that form a bigger thread of feedback. But before I even get into feedback, let me break down the thread again. Like I said, DevOps is this union or this symbiotic relationship between the software developers and the IT operation professionals. This culture helps to reduce pointing fingers, blaming one person or another. It's collaboration, automation. It's like I said, the collaboration. The first part is the union itself, joining people together. It's like the absolute bedrock of DevOps culture itself. It's about systematically breaking down those walls, like I mentioned, between the development and operations. It's moving from a model of just passing the blame to another side, or maybe the developers will say, oh, this issue is not from my end, it should be from the IT ops, or the IT ops will say, no, this particular problem is not mine, it should be one of the software developers that did it. This collaboration culture helps almost even eradicates pointing fingers and blaming each other. Instead, we work together. Instead of saying, okay, who did this? It's okay, this is the particular problem on the ground. How do we solve this? How do we create a solution out of this problem? It's shared ownership of whatever issue you have on ground. It means the developers and the ops sit together from the very beginning of the project. They would design for not just how a feature will be built, but also for how it will be deployed, how it will be monitored, how it will be maintained in production also. They share goals, they share pain, and they also share the success. They carry everything together. That is one of the important parts of the DevOps culture. We also have automation. It says automation with a very, very specific purpose to eliminate human toil, to eliminate human stress. We automate the repetitive, the manual, or the error-prone tasks like running tests, provisioning infrastructure, or deploying code. This isn't really about replacing people. It's about freeing up human intellect for the more complex and for the more creative problems that machines can solve. Automation creates consistency and speed and reliability, but must also be driven by the goal of reducing toil, not just for the sake of cool tools. I'm trying to emphasize here. Another thread in the DevOps culture is continuous improvement. It's the commitment to never being satisfied with the status quo. It is understanding that everything, our processes, our code, our architecture can always be better. The other one is transparency. It means radiating information from everyone, making everybody's work visible. You know, it promotes accountability of whatever it is you're engaged in, whatever role that you're meant to take on or execute as a contributor, or whatever solution you are also trying to make. And also we have our customer-centric action. So every single thing we do, every line of code we write, every infrastructure change we make, everything we're delivering to the value of our end users. Are we making the applications faster for them? Are we making them more reliable, more secure? These are the questions that we ask, and it's part of the culture of DevOps. It helps to maintain that infinite loop that also promotes excellence, asking the whys, just to make sure our end users, which are going to be our main consumers, are satisfied. These are good practices. All these things I've singled out in this thread of DevOps culture are good practices individually, but together, woven tightly together, they can form resilient and adaptive fabric for our DevOps culture. Tools are just the looms that kind of help you with this fabric. I don't know if my analogy is gelling properly. Since we're talking about thread, needle, and trying to create or seam something to be very coherent. This cultural thread of seeking and acting on feedback quickly is what like creates this resilience and speed and true agilities. So, like I said, so the common misconceptions we have when you talk about DevOps, you think of maybe Jenkins, you think of Docker, is more about collaboration. You know, when you say, okay, DevOps is for engineers only, it's about the stakeholders too. They're also part of this journey that we're on. When you say DevOps is a role, it's more of like a culture or an approach to whatever task that we have and things that we're trying to achieve. Just for those that might not be following, I would like to just maybe use a simple analogy here for why it's the mindset and not just the tools, even though the tools are important. It helps you to execute your goals and it helps you to achieve your goals. Let's use farming, for example. I mean, you can have the most advanced tractor in the markets, but you will not really know if you don't really know how to drive it, then what's the point? You know, like imagine you are a farmer, your goal is simple, just to grow, to harvest healthy crops, and to feed the people. And in this case, these are like your end users. It's a cycle. You prepare the soil, you plant your seeds, you nurture, you water as consistently as possible, not too much, not too little, and then you harvest your food for your end users. That harvesting is basically the deployment of your software for your end users to use. But we've all seen how farming has been, the technology of farming, we've seen how it has evolved. We've gone from using cutlasses and hoes to using tractors, proper game changers. You know, tractors now plow the field. Before plowing field for hours, you can now do them. Maybe even if you're going to plow for days with your cutlasses, now you can do it for hours. Things you're supposed to do for hours, you can just do it in like a few. Maybe if you're supposed to do them for 9 hours, you can do them in about 2, 3 hours. It's what's important here is the goal that you're trying to achieve, the culture of farming itself, which is kind of analogous to DevOps, and not really the tools. The tools will always evolve. The tools will always change. You as the skilled individual, the skilled worker, the technical worker, are you going to evolve with those tools? And in order to evolve with those tools, you need to have the right mindset. You need to know exactly what kind of goal you're trying to achieve. You know, buying anybody with money can buy a tractor. You know, but is it going to make you a successful farmer? You know, the tractor doesn't understand the soil. It's the farmer that understands the soil. The farmer interacts with the soil. So just this analogy is just to help you understand what I'm just trying to say regarding DevOps itself. So let's just go to a case study. Let's use Netflix for example. Even if you want to put Netflix and use the for your farmer analogy, it's like your agro complex. You know, they didn't just buy the Netflix did not just buy a tractor; they built a self-driving one. They used different systems to help promote, to help improve the culture of the software engineers and the DevOps um, engineers to the IT operations, to be more specific. Netflix culture is like the ultimate tool, if we're going to use that as a case study. It's one of the biggest DevOps story because it did not just adopt the tools, they built their culture around their mindsets with this particular method called the chaos monkey. The chaos monkey is a software, a tool that helps them to in randomly take down some parts of maybe Netflix code or features just randomly. And when this happens, all hands will have to be on deck. Everybody will have to come together to figure out what caused this issue, what caused this problem. This helped promote or create this this unity between the software developers and also the IT operations, because they were not going to blame anybody for something being down, a feature being down. They will know, okay, look, it's probably the software tool that caused this. What is the problem? It helps them to improve the software. It helps them to improve the experience of the end users. This is part of what the culture I was trying to talk about. So I've explained why Netflix was also important as a case study. It operated as a massive scale, serves millions globally, and their success in DevOps comes not just from the tooling, but from strong cultural foundations. Engineers own the products from code to deploy, strong feedback loops between both parties, and there'll be blameless postmortems. Instead of blaming or pointing fingers, everybody can hold themselves accountable and they can come together and work on creating solutions. I don't know if I still have enough time. Okay. So how to cultivate the proper DevOps mindset. Like I said, you encourage a blameless culture. You communicate across different teams. You adopt agile principles. Everyone works together all the time. You keep up with yourselves. You don't leave anybody behind. If there's going to be any issue, people will always be aware of where they are, what's going on, where the failures are coming from. And we also learn from our failures quickly and fast enough. Start with small improvements and go to bigger things. Like I said, everybody holds themselves hand in hand. Tools are important, but tools will just support the mindset. Like I said, I use the farmer's analogy for this. I'm not downplaying tools at all. You all have to still learn the tools. You all have to still be masters or be experts of the tools you are using to carry out the goals that you're trying to achieve. Choose the tools that support collaboration depending on the context of the organization you are working on. And even if tools are important, the right tools with the wrong mindset will still equal to wasted efforts. So just to recap, like I said, DevOps is a culture, not just a title. Mindsets should be the main thing, even if your tools are also important. You share responsibility, feedback, and also collaborations are key. Tools enable, most importantly, but people are the ones that empower the culture. So thank you very much. If anyone has a question for me, I'll be happy to answer.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Are there any questions for Michael regarding the presentation? All right, these are no questions. Michael, you can pick a few people from the audience and ask your questions to ensure that they were following with your presentation.
Okay, my questions are already on the slide. So the first one is, why does the DevOps mindset matter a lot? This question is for Seth. I don't know if Seth is online. Seth Wonkolo.
Hi, Seth. I am the call.
Okay. Mary Adegoke.
Hello? Sorry. Okay, Seth.
Okay, Seth, you're here. Okay. Can you hear me, Seth?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so
Am I
my
audible?
first question is why does the DevOps mindset matter a lot?
Okay. The DevOps mindset, I believe it matters because like it breaks down the wall between like the developers and the operations, I guess. So that teams can develop and deliver software faster and fix whatever problem that they have.
Okay, thank you. Just to help you brush up what you said, but yeah, it basically ensures sustainability, scalability, and helps people from different groups to hold themselves accountable. It promotes and builds trust and shared responsibility amongst the developers and the IT operations. This mindset is what helps a lot. The second question, how can we cultivate this DevOps mindset? Dorothy, are you online? Okay. Austin Okeke. Austin Okeke, can you hear me? Okay. Okpeyemi, can I know at least answer if how can we cultivate this DevOps mindset?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. How to cultivate the DevOps mindset? I'll say encourage collaboration. I think that's one of it, and also promotes automation too. I think that's and also focus on small or frequent releases.
Yeah. So yeah, so to start with a small improvements for
Uh,
collaboration to communicate across teams early and often, and to learn from failures also. Yeah, thank you very much. That would be all from me. Thank you all for listening.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael. That was a very insightful presentation. I learned a lot about DevOps and its importance, and I hope you all did as well. Yeah, thank you all for joining, and do have a very productive day. See you all tomorrow.